Okay, it looks like we're in our meeting, or at least the webinar has started. So, and Stanley, we can't see you, but we can go ahead and proceed.
Yeah, you're good. I have no idea what else to do. I pushed that little icon. I'm seeing myself, but I'm not seeing you, or you can't see me apparently. So
As long as you know where you are, we're good.
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get started with our work session canvas. We'll probably just start off with the canvas here.
Yeah, the canvas is first, so.
Yeah, so we'll turn it over to you, Marla.
All right, we'll cruise through this. How's that?
All right.
I'd like to say that we cruised through everything for this election, but it kind of feels that way, but it was a lot of work. It was an election like no other. It's a lot of different things we had to take in consideration and challenges to overcome. So, but I think we did it, and we have an awesome turnout. So, right now we have 27,457 ballots cast. That is a record for Box Elder County. Our total registered voters was 29,000. Let me get to the right paperwork here. 29,944. So there's only what 2,500 people that did not vote out of our active voter list, which is pretty incredible. There were 22 by mail absentee ballots that were received after the 3rd that we were able to count. There were 53 that were not timely postmarked that we were unable to count. And the night of the election, we basically had gotten through about half of our counting. We were at 49.91% counting on election night. And had counted 14,944 ballots. And at that point, we kind of felt like, oh, this is never going to end, but it worked out. We did have 550 total provisional ballots. 536 of those were able to be counted. 14 were not able to be counted due to things like incomplete applications was the big thing. We had one polling location that was not as thorough as they should have been on capturing people's data, like their driver's license, social security numbers, having them sign it, even some that didn't have addresses, so we couldn't count those. And there's a report attached to that. You can see that 4 of them had already voted. We've kind of found that we had this tracking system with the state this time, and people got nervous if they didn't see that their ballot had been counted, so they went to the polling location, which that's the whole gist of having a provisional ballot, so that we can check and make sure that they hadn't already voted. So our poll workers did a good job there. So they made them vote a provisional ballot, and we checked, and we had received their mail-in ballot, so they didn't get to vote twice. So that was good checks and balances. And then there were 10 that were incomplete applications. We were required to do an audit, and the way the audit works is we submit all of our batches to the Lieutenant Governor's office, and then they randomly select an amount. It's like 1%. And so we were able to audit 634 ballots, and then and those matched perfectly. And then we also audited 634 signatures, and those matched perfectly. Let's see. A few more things that I added on to our report this time. We have what we call a cure letter, and that is a letter that is sent to the voter if their signature did not match, or if their ballot came without a signature, or if their envelope came and had no ballot in it. You'd be surprised at how many of those happen. And we had outstanding still that have not been cured is 148, but we probably had at least double that have cured their ballot signature. We had 912 people vote early, which in the March primary, which we didn't hold early voting in June because of no in-person voting, but in the March primary, we had 75 in 4 days. This one, we had 912 in 4 days. The total people who voted at a vote center was 1,945. And we had, out of our provisionals, we had 265 of those that are same day registrations, which is kind of a new law that went into effect a couple of years ago where they can register on election day. So overall, our percent was 91.69%, which is great. And I think we're seeing that statewide, that they're in the upper 80s and 90 percentile. So that's pretty great. If you look through the things I sent you, I don't know if you got a chance yesterday or not. We start out with a 0 report, which basically shows you that there were no votes cast before we started to tally. And then the next report is what we reported on election night. That's like 8 pages in. And then another 8 pages down is our official results, which will be posted on the web and sent to the Lieutenant Governor's office after we're done today. And then there's a little breakdown, precinct by precinct, so you can kind of see how each precinct did. Write-ins, there's a little sheet back close to the back that shows write-ins. If you notice, there's some that say not assigned. Those ones are ones that were not certified write-ins, so they did not declare to write in. So those were like Mickey Mouse and SpongeBob, you know, those kind of things, or their own selves or their friends, or we got a lot for Russell M. Nelson. That was probably one that there was quite a few in there. And we had write-ins for president, House District 1, and the governor race. And then at the end, you'll see our audit report, which shows that we had 4 batches to go through. One of the batches, we only had to do the first 39. So that gives us the 634 that we audited. A couple things I just thought you might be interested in. With the cure letters, we did do a pilot program, which was called Text to Cure. And so if they had a signature issue, they could actually text their signature to a certain number, and then the state dispersed that back to us, and that was really successful. We had oodles that utilized that, which was so nice. And each day the state would send us our list of people that we could go through and pull and be able to count their ballot. I don't know if you witnessed our in-person voting, but it was a buzz. We had lots of extra poll workers because we had a greeter that met people at the door, gave them masks. We handed out the rest of the hand sanitizer from the fair. And then we had extra people that as soon as someone was done voting, they sanitized the booths, they sanitized the scanning machine. They were constantly going around sanitizing the tables and different things like that. So our little poll workers were so busy. The lines were just crazy in Tremonton. Usually Tremonton is about half of USU, and they were pretty much neck and neck with how much they did out there in Tremonton. And they had less staff and a lot less booths, so they should be commended out there in Tremonton. They did awesome. This is the first year that we really had a lot of issues with electioneering, where our poll workers had to ask people to go home and change, or we had lots of problems with people posting signs and different things too close to the polling location, and it was really nice to have the sheriff's office help us to enforce some of those problems. So I really appreciate them. And then one other issue that we had, and maybe some may have heard of it, the state did a tracking system this time of the by mail ballots. And so people got a little impatient. They put their ballot in a drop box, and the next day they expected to see it on the tracking system. But it takes quite some time, actually, depending on when we pick up the drop boxes, for one thing. And then it takes a lot of time to process and get people updated. And so they got a little impatient. That's why some of them went to the polls on election day, voted a provisional ballot because they still hadn't shown up on the tracking system. But overall, I think everything went well. My staff worked their tails off, and we ended up, having some COVID problems here in my office. And so we were shorthanded, and then I was able to pull in some help from another county of a gal that doesn't work for cash anymore. And that was kind of a lifesaver for us. But do you have any questions for me on any of the details?
Yeah. On the precinct by precinct percentage voting, how did Yoast end up at over 100%?
They had somebody vote provisionally. Yoast might, or a couple. So the numbers we put in are as of election day. So if they vote provisionally, that could put them over the top, especially when they're a small precinct like that. If they only have 10 voters in their precinct and they get 2 people that vote provisionally because they've moved out there, then that'll put it over 100%.
Yeah, it looked like they 27 registered and 28 voted. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
That happens a lot, like with Clear Creek and Grouse Creek and some of those.
Yeah, Bear River East was just under 100%. I was just kind of scrolling through some of the precincts, and the voter turnout was amazing this year.
Yeah.
Cool. All
Incredible.
right.
Any other questions?
No, I think that it was great, Marla. I think that's amazing. We ended up with the turnout that we did.
I do too. I pulled all the stats, for Sean Hales at the News Journal, and for at least the last, 12, 16 years. And there's nowhere I can see that we ever had that high of a percentage. So we came close a couple of years ago at 88% when the cannabis was on the ballot, but this was good. And it's nice to see people engaged and doing their duty. So, okay, if I could have a motion to accept the results.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion
Awesome.
passed.
And do you guys want to stop in and sign this? I'd have to have it today, or should I use your electronic signatures?
I'd use my electronic signature, Marla.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good, Commissioner Summers.
Yeah, well, I had that MRI and they put that tube down my throat, so
Oh,
I think
okay.
I think I must have been fighting it a little bit.
I'd go with that.
Nothing
Yeah,
a Diet Coke can't solve.
Yeah, I got a rock star here.
You can just use my
I'll be down
electronic
in 2 minutes,
signature as well,
Marla.
Marla.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate all your work, and tell your staff thank you.
Yeah, that was amazing, Marlo, to do what you did with the things that are going on in 2020. Thank you.
Yeah. No, we appreciate it. So, okay, looks like we're just in time to start our administrative review. So we'll just go across the board here, and we'll start off. I see Mark in the far corner, so I'm going to start with you, Mark. You got anything?
Nothing really specifically. I'm just continuing to spend money until Tom says, no, it's all spent. I don't know that we're going to get that all spent on that there without the CARES Act funds. I'm just trying to think. There was, well, I had a thought this morning. We got a tactical communications plan that was done by Bragg for us here a few years ago, and I was going to see if everything is, you just got to couch it just correctly, but for the sake of COVID response, we got to have a emergency communications plan updated. So I'm going to see if I can't get Bragg to just update that for me. But I mean, it's the stuff that we're working on, trying to pull together. We're really going to enhance the communications for the county. I just took possession of 50 new 800 megahertz handheld radios yesterday with the intent that we're going to bring all the non-public safety departments that are out and about up with handheld communication. So if they go out west, you get surveyors or somebody heading out west, you get in an area where you got patchy phone service or something like that and end up with flat tires or something like that. It's a safety thing for our employees, as well as on disaster day. It'll give us communications with all those folks that'll be, out there and so forth. So it'll be all Bill's folks, Rod's folks, Cody's folks. We've got them all slotted for disaster day duties out helping do damage assessment. So anyway, it's a communications, and we do have a non-public safety frequency that we can allow them to use on a day-to-day basis as they're doing their business, that we can monitor through dispatch. So if somebody's out in the desert and has a problem, they can get on this frequency and call, and dispatch will hear them and send help and so forth. So anyway, there's that piece. We've got an alternate I call it a communications cabinet. It's a mobile cabinet on wheels that can be put in command post. We can take it out to the alternate DOC out at the fairgrounds or whatever, and it's all set up complete with radios and data with Cradle Point computer data stuff and all the things. So we've picked that up, and I've got a health support trailer, health response trailer coming. I was hoping to have had it here already. We could potentially, and the thought was try to assist Bear River Hospital initially with having a warm place that their COVID testers could sit out there while the cars kind of drove up and so forth. Because we've not got that yet, just delayed delivery because of demand. The hospital is going to build a temporary facility there that'll get set up for those folks, but nevertheless we'll have it as needed. So just some of the projects that I'm working on. We got and like the last big one was we've got a regional trailer that we received kind of in a project with the Northern Utah Healthcare Coalition that is a shelter support trailer. Red Cross has already got a trailer that's got 100 cots and beds and so forth for a shelter. We just was going to put together this trailer on for the northern region, and we had enough money. I just thought we'd just go ahead and spend about $50,000 to outfit this trailer. And it's all the stuff that people with access and functional needs, special needs could potentially need, but may leave at home if they get evacuated rapidly in a disaster. It's wheelchairs and walkers and things that would support folks in a shelter situation. So I decided to go ahead and buy a couple hundred cots as well. So we've and with that we're gonna acquired bought a lifetime shed 8 by 20 that's gonna go behind the bleachers up in the home arts building. Been working with Jan on that, just in between some of the big girders there, and we'll be able to store a lot of this shelter stuff there and lock it up and so forth, because that facility will probably be one of our potential first points for a shelter or an alternate care site if something happened real and we had to expand with hospital support. So anyway, I don't want to ramble on and on, but just kind of give you an idea of some of the stuff we've been working on and been doing with the CARES Act money.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thanks for the update, Mark. We appreciate your work. That's good stuff. So, Commissioner Summers, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Marla, do you have anything?
Nope, I think you heard enough of me today.
No, we haven't. Joan?
We can read your lips, Joan. Just
Yeah,
shake your head.
sorry. Nope, we're good. We're just, right now, I'm just checking in with all our partners, making sure, seeing what everybody needs, just hoping that this latest hit isn't gonna dip them as far down as the early ones have. So far, everybody's hanging in there.
Okay. Good. Mitch?
I've got quite a bit on the agenda. I'm not sure if you have any questions.
No, I read through it. I don't have any questions, but these guys might.
I don't.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Mitch. Steve?
Don't have anything.
Okay. Glad you're here. So you can
Thank
help
you.
clarify stuff. So I do have Cody Elam here and Scott Lyon. So Cody, do you got anything?
No, I just got 2 things on the agenda, so if you have any questions for me.
He said he's got 2 things on the agenda. So if you have any questions for Cody, speak up. If not, then
Jenica just said the same thing. She said she's on, but she doesn't have a
Okay.
webinar link or anything, so no PAs.
Yeah, nothing
Okay.
else from me.
There you go.
okay. All right. Yeah, I can't tell who else is on here just by phone. So Scott, do you have anything? Just your items that are on there. Yeah. Okay. All righty. I don't have anything else, so we can go ahead and take I guess an 8-minute recess, and we'll begin our commission meeting at 9 o'clock.
I did have one thing, Commish.
Okay.
Last Friday, we did interviews for about 8 hours over at the health department. Lloyd Berenson, our local health officer for Bear River Health, is planning on retiring at the beginning of 2021. He's going to stick around until the succession is complete. But I think we had about 30 applications that came in. It was narrowed down to 10 that met all the criteria. And then 6 were brought in for interviews. Exceptional candidates. Really could have hired any of them. But it was settled on one individual by the selection committee. A conditional offer has went out to the individual, and we're hoping to hear something back in probably the next week. So once that comes back, we'll let everybody know. But Lloyd Berenson has been at the health department for quite a while and has done an amazing job, especially through COVID. And so we'll miss him, but this new individual should do a great job.
That's good info. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and take a recess for 6 minutes. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Marla, can you see the agenda? Can you guys see the agenda?
It's Mark, I see it.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Yeah, it's on there, Keith.
Okay, looks like we're hitting 9 o'clock right now, so we'll go ahead and get started with our November 17th, 2020 commission meeting. Looks like we'll start off with Commissioner Summers giving us an invocation, and then I believe that Tom Cotter was supposed to lead us in the pledge, but since we're doing it virtually, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera to the flag and I'll lead in the pledge. So we'll go from there.
Our dear kind Heavenly Father, as we come before you today, virtually, we appreciate the technology that we have in our lives to be able to continue the business of the county. Heavenly Father, please help us in these trying times. We might be able to go out, reach out and help those people that are less fortunate than we are, that they might be able to find hope in these times, and that we will be able to continue on to do the things not only that if you would do if you would hear, but also the things that we should do as good community members. We appreciate the election we had just had in a free country, that we be able to voice our opinions. Please help our law enforcement and our others abroad to keep the peace, that they will be not only looked after, but be able to come home and find all well therein. Again, please watch over us today and help us to make proper, correct choices in all we do, and bless all those that are on this call and around our county and state. We ask these favors and blessings in the name of my son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay, I don't know if you can see the flag there, but
There you go.
Put the flag and repeat after me. I
I
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks everybody. That was a little different trying to keep everybody on the same words virtually, but it was good. So appreciate everybody's participation. Looks like we need to go ahead and approve some minutes. I'd entertain a motion if you guys had a chance to look through those.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes from October 21st, 2020 and November 4th, 2020.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. All right. Any future agenda items or former agenda items? You guys?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. No emergency management issues. We got a little report from Mark. Sounds like there's some good things going on as far as getting prepared for emergencies. So you guys got anything?
Hey, Jeff, the only thing I was just going to say, I don't know if you watched, but we were able to go down last Tuesday to the Capitol, and they found the Wasatch Front in attainment from the 2.5. So that's a big thing that happened last week for the state and the county. So, and that it's underneath 90 days of written response, but other than that, they found the Wasatch Front in attainment. So that's a big thing for Box Elder County.
I know you've been working a lot on that too, so appreciate your work. That's great.
And then I was just going to tell you that Box Elder County has also been recognized as one of the aerospace counties in the nation. And at 12 o'clock, I was asked to speak at a roundtable on NACO for aerospace counties in the nation. So there was only 3 of us out of the entire nation, and Box Elder County was picked as one of the aerospace counties in the nation. So I thought that was pretty cool for Box Elder County too.
Yeah, no, that is. Yeah, thanks for that info. Commissioner Scott, do you have any additional numbers from the health department?
Yeah, I don't think
good.
anybody wants to hear them though. Back around the middle of September, we were at 40 active cases. As of this morning, we're sitting at 750. So we've got almost an 1,800% increase in the last 9 weeks. And so despite what everybody says, we do have some issues. There's those that still think that nothing's happening because our local hospitals aren't overloaded. When people get hospitalized, they aren't typically sent to our local hospitals. They're generally going to one of the hospitals along the Wasatch Front that has the critical care units where they can, be on a respirator and everything. So the numbers that I'm seeing from those hospitals are between 85 and 100% capacity right now with the surge in cases. The state of Utah was pushing 4,000 new cases a day this last week. So we've seen it affect us, in the courthouse this week. And so it's moving. We just need to be smart. And so, like you mentioned, I'm glad that we have the technology that we can do this, and just hope everybody stays safe and pray for our county family that's been affected this last week as well. So.
Yeah.
Mr. Scott, I was just going to tell you, while I was at my procedure at Logan Regional, they were actually getting ready to move non-affected patients to Logan Regional. So that would make more room and more beds for affected people down at McKay-D and things like that. So yeah, your information, like you said, is correct. And that they're not necessarily all full with COVID patients, but our emergency rooms and those type of things are not meant for this type of outbreak. So they were actually moving non-affected patients, is what they said, up to Logan from other hospitals so they could make more room at some of these other critical care facilities that could take care of COVID.
Well, that's a scary thing when you look at what took place over in Italy, especially Spain, different places in the United Kingdom earlier this year. It basically got to a point of triage. And so if you came in and you were needing to be hospitalized for COVID, but then somebody also came in that was in a car accident, they'd basically do triage, just like wartime, and say, how many staff is it going to take to treat this person? What percentage chance do they have of survival? And if you didn't make the cut, you got stuck someplace else and somebody get to you if they could. Yep. And so again, that's what we're trying to avoid. So anyway.
We appreciate the info, and we appreciate everybody's efforts in trying to be safe and do what we need to do. I know that we've taken some steps here at the courthouse and trying to keep everybody, our staff, safe and, help prevent the spread. So appreciate the info. Let's move on here to our first item here. It looks like we've got the award from EDC Utah. We got Alan Ridlisbacher. You on, Alan?
Yes, I am, Commissioner. I am here. Can you hear me?
We'll turn the time over to you.
I've got 2 minutes. Let me hit a couple of things. First of all, I'm grateful for my Box Elder County roots with my mother's family. We've got Riverside and Portage flowing through my blood veins. So I'm grateful for Box Elder County. I'd also hit hard the wear your mask scenario. My younger brother was transported from Logan Regional Hospital via life flight to McKay Hospital, spent a month on a ventilator before he passed away in August. So this is a real deal. So be cautious.
Sorry to hear that.
Okay, let's talk about things that are most important here this morning with Mitch Zundel. Mitch, we love you. Grateful for our relationship with Box Elder County. On October the 23rd, we awarded the first 8 development-ready community certified cities and counties throughout the state. As we've initiated this program a couple of years ago, the Development Ready Communities program. It's a 5-stage program to basically align us more effectively with our partners throughout the state. Mitch has jumped in, he stepped through those 5 stages, the community assessment that we provided, the planning that we work with you, the integration that we have with Mitch with projects that we have coming north to CU, also the training sessions that he's been through. In fact, a couple of you commissioners participated early on more than a year ago in one of the sessions that we held in Brigham City. Long story short, with the 2 minutes that I have, Mitch certified, the county is certified, and we put you at the top of the class, being one of those top certified communities and counties in the state of Utah. We thought that you elected officials ought to know that. We're grateful for our partnership with you. We're grateful that you write that check every year to participate with us. And ultimately, hopefully, we're seeing some benefits all the way across the state as we work together to build the state's economy. Commissioner Summers, you talk about an aerospace county. Be proud of that. That serves us all well as we see that success in your county as you lead us so well. So with that, Mitch, would you hold up the certificate? There it is, framed and ready for hanging somewhere in that county office. For right now, I guess Mitch can just keep it at home and share that joy. My time's up. We're grateful for our participation and partnership with you. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, Alan. I just want to tell you thanks. We appreciate you guys and your cooperation and working with the counties, and particularly with our county. And you know, we'll give kudos to Mitch. Great work. Appreciate his work. Do you guys have anything else?
I just have one quick one. What are you seeing right now, Alan? Are you still seeing companies making inquiries? Has COVID slowed things down? I mean, what's your perspective?
Slowed us down in the initial phases, but I think what's happened is it's changed. It's pivoted somewhat. The office projects are still pretty much on hold because I think everybody's still working from home, and the office users are trying to figure out how we're going to get back to the office. So that those projects have slowed. What we're seeing is an increase in industrial type projects, manufacturing, distribution, because I think we recognize that the supply chain process is different now. I think that companies are also recognizing, well, whether it's reshoring, trying to bring some of that supply chain back to the States, whether it's just trying to spread it out a little bit more across the country, we are seeing an increase. So those numbers, our total numbers are down with projects that we're working with, but ultimately we're seeing a shift more towards those manufacturing distribution projects. And I think that will continue to evolve as we continue to deal with the pandemic and come out the other side. But we're hopeful that things are happening.
This is Commissioner Summers. So
Yes, sir.
are you guys working good with the inland port? Because it just sounds like this is really what's going up their alley, and we're knee deep in it up this way, because I found out something a couple weeks ago that almost 35% of every frozen food going throughout the Intermountain West comes through Box Elder County one way or another.
Right.
So we've had a bunch of inquiries about dry good facilities, cold storage facilities, and other things. And like you said, the inland port's been helping us a lot in recognizing, you know, what we do have up here and what we can actually use for those distribution spots that you were talking about.
Absolutely, and we're working very closely with Jack and the team, and Ginger and the team at the inland port, and ultimately That as their process continues to evolve too, as they're working with the counties, communities throughout the state, this concept of satellite facilities that spreads that love of that inland port. I think you're going to see a lot of that come your way, no question.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
Yep.
Thanks again, Mitch.
Thanks, Alan. Okay. Looks like Chrissy, we've got the pool shares. Yeah.
Okay, this is what we do every year. It's the water shares that we put back into the pool. There's a letter prepared. You just need to okay it.
Hey, do you guys have any questions on that? It sounds like it's the same thing we've done every year.
No, I'd make a motion that we lease the 66 Bear River Canal pool shares to the Bear River Canal Company, put it back in the pool for 2021.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, a second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Chrissy. Appreciate it. Okay, looks like Cody, you're up. I've got Cody here. You want to come on camera here and talk to him?
Not really.
Come on.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
Can you guys hear him?
What?
Can you hear me?
What?
Come on.
Oh, now
Yeah,
Stan's
it would
being.
really help if we could. It would really help if we could see his face, though.
What? You don't want to see this. So we actually have a couple of members of the committee here. Well, two of us here. I've got Jones and Associates. They really helped us do the RFP. Brett Jones is here, and then Scott was on the committee. I don't know if Tom is here on the phone, but here, how long ago did you ask me this?
Oh, it's been probably about 4 or 5 months.
So this is the end result of Commissioner Hatfield's request to hire an architect. I first started with the auditor department trying to write an RFP, realizing that this was a little bit bigger than what I was anticipating. I built a few buildings here at the Box Elder. I felt that this was out of my scope, so I called Brett Jones. He helped me create this RFP. He's here if you've got any questions for him, but have you guys had a chance to look at this proposed task? Do you have any questions for what we put this out to bid, what the architects were assigned to do? Did you see that? Do you have any questions?
Cody, I'm just going to back up here really quick for those that are maybe on here that don't understand what it is that we're doing. Back when we had way back in the spring, when we had the earthquake, there were some concerns brought about. We've always had the concerns about this building being as old as it is, and really looking at the options. Do we retrofit it to be earthquake proof or earthquake safe, which is going to cost a lot of money, or do we look at building a brand new building, or do we look at buying an existing building and retrofitting it for the county, just to keep our employees safe? I don't know that there's anybody that has employees that work in a building any older than this one. And the concern is if we had a major catastrophe, a major earthquake, we would lose probably, half, of our county employees in this building. And that's a real concern. So I asked Cody to take a look at our options so that we're looking forward, probably not this commission, but maybe other commissions will be able to make some assessments and be able to do something for the county, because eventually something's going to need to be done as far as an administrative building. So anyway, with that being said, you guys have any questions for Cody?
No.
No, I mean, I think it's a good idea. I like the information that was in the RFP. It is conceptual. I think that's the biggest thing that, you brought out that people need to understand. We're not looking at building a building in the next few months, or probably even in the next few years.
So if you look at the purpose and the background, it goes with the construction of this existing building. So the original building was built in 1856 with an addition in 1911 and then a minor addition in 1966. There was some work done in 2007. So for example, this building has been built and occupied for the last 120 years. This building has not only been built that long ago, but it's actually still being functioned for what it was built for. So that we talked about is the functionality of this building. We've now just spent a bit of COVID money trying to make this building function the way the world is right now, separating, making the employees secure. And so one of the things I'd like to emphasize, this building is over 100 years old. And a lot of people don't realize that myself, with all the employees, it lists here about 10 or 12 different operational businesses or departments, that we come here and work here every day for 8 hours. We probably spend more time in this building than we do with our families. So I wanted to just make sure that this is something that we spend a lot of time looking at this. It was put out to bid. I think we had 21 interests. 21.
Yeah, it's I think 21, and then there was 7 that's.
So we had 21 that were interested, and we had 7 that actually submitted the architect plan. And if you go through it, what I'll hit them really quickly is the assessment, the location, the floor plans, the cost estimates, and funding options. So one of their jobs we award this bid is they're going to look at not only this building, but everything in the vicinity. We have decided to go with, we would suggest or make the suggestion to the commissioners that we have gone with CRSA. They actually work with Utah State. They've done a lot of work in this area. They've actually already looked at 2 buildings in this area where they basically could hit the ground running and do some assessments. So one of the things that I wanted to point out is this bid, actually, this RFP, we have a time frame, table 2.2, if you have a second look at it, where we've gone from just an RFP to actual architectural plans. Now, something like that is something we were looking forward to moving forward with. If we need to readjust that with them, we also need to make sure they're aware of this time frame. And if you guys had a chance to look at that and see, I mean, we're going, the RFP was built to go from start to finish with plans. So we don't feel that that's something that's going to be moving forward. We probably need to sit back down with CRSA and make sure they understand the scope. So,
Cody, this is Stan. If you're insinuating that we shouldn't be doing this if we're not planning on doing it in our elected time, then I guess we ought to relook at that, if that's what you're insinuating.
No, what I'm saying is the bid was put out to do that way. You guys have charge. I'm not, this is the way we structured this bid. So if we want to look at that again, you guys are the ones that,
Yeah.
You're the head, you're the ones that tell us what to do. So I was simply asked with the task, and this is what we proposed, and this is
okay. Then I think, go ahead, Jeff. Scott, I'm sure you're going to say what I was thinking.
Well, personally, I mean, I would be in favor of seeing something maybe conceptually, looking at anticipated space requirements, maybe the type of facility, if there was a recommended location, even some, maybe conceptual drawings. But as far as taking it to, a full-blown architectural plan for a building that we might do, I just don't know that we're ready for something like that, and we need to go through the expense until we're closer.
And then Cody, and then I was just going to kind of echo what Commissioner Scott said. And then I think we take a look and see how we can start using some of our excess funds and maybe starting to, put some money towards something like this, and that we can start budgeting for future commissions and future, and that we can do that kind of like the Bookmobile did. I mean, it took them 17 years to be able to do that. And I don't want to think that it would take us that long, but maybe we can start putting money towards that facility and those other things that have to happen. I mean, we've already looked at ground and we've already looked at these other things too. So if part of that is looking at some of the places we might put a building like this, whether it be on the site that we're at or some of the other places we've been looking at, then I would say go ahead with that. But yeah, if it's a full blown architectural drawing is something we're going to do in the next 18 months or 2 years, I would say maybe we need to rethink that.
No, it's not actually the drawings itself. The bid itself, actually, we can adjust this RFP. We can sit down and talk with them. I think what you said exactly is right, Stan. We need to look at all the buildings. These are the people that can come in and do the study. These are the people that have the expertise to give you that information, Commissioner, so that you can make those decisions for those in the future. I just want the bid that we put out, it goes right to that concept. So I'm mainly here to show what we've been given to us. I'm here to show what we can do with what they propose to us. There is this is a cost. That's something that we may need to look at budget wise, how far we want to go with this.
Okay.
Brett, did you have anything you wanted to? Brett Jones.
I'm here as well. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but basically, I think the way the RFP is set up is exactly, I think, how Commissioner Summers was just talking. Basically, it's set up to get to that conceptual level and even does include some concept drawings of what could be done once some decisions are made. That's sort of the scope of this first section. As Cody mentioned, and we did ask all of those that we interviewed that, whether there would be the opportunity there to kind of adjust scope as we go, and they all said that wouldn't be a big issue. They generally follow this scenario, but if we don't want to spend more time on one task or another, obviously we can get something done for a little bit better cost. So I think it's all kind of in place. The committee, RSA seem to have the best handle of things. They've done a lot of really similar projects for the state of Utah and for other entities, just kind of helping them understand maybe what the best solution is to move forward, and then you can start budgeting. Part of it as well does include some help with funding as well. Options, whether there be any grants or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and in Cody's defense, that's what I did ask him to do last spring was we needed to see, excuse me, and now I'm getting Stan's voice. We needed to see what our options were because we do need to look at those and like Jeff was saying, looking at stuff conceptually, whatever, but we do need to know what is the most efficient method. Is it buying a building? Is it building a building? Or is it retrofitting this one? And so, yeah, I think we're all on the same page. We're just kind of looking at this from different angles. So,
is that an engineering joke? Looking at it at different angles. Okay, I'm good with that.
So I can sit down with Brett and the commission or the committee. I can actually sit down with Brett and get a scope of what they can perform for us. I can sit down with them. If you guys want me to get back with you with the budget numbers, you want me to work with Tom, how do you want me to, how far along? Because we can go from start to finish and get the concept, but as you know, everything that we ask for will cost money. So I'll tell you what, I'll sit down with them, see what we can do to get to a point. Come back to you guys, email you, see what we feel comfortable in spending for this, because it's a timely procedure to make sure, like Stan, you said, we want to give those commissioners in the future or yourself the opportunity to look at everything, and these guys have really laid that to groundwork for us. So,
okay. Yeah, that sounds good, Cody. Why don't you just get with Commissioner Hadfield and the committee and just let us know what else we need to do.
proceed that way. Yeah.
I like that idea. For me personally, if there's 5 steps in the process, obviously each one's going to cost a little bit. I'd kind of like to know where we're at budgetarily if we take it clear to the 5th step. So no, I think that's a good way to proceed.
In the proposal, they gave us an hourly rate and then they gave us a number that to do start and finish. We can sit down and talk with them about that. we can see where we're at, and then I can get back with you. This is something that, you know, it's exciting, and we'll give you that information so you guys can make that choice.
Okay, thanks, Cody.
Thanks,
So,
Cody.
just to be on the record, you're good with us moving forward with CRSA. They're the ones of choice, and you're willing to pick them as our architect then.
Yes.
We need to have a motion for them to accept that, or, because we did go out RFP, and we did pick them as our top candidate, so.
Okay.
CRSA.
CRSA, so, yeah,
CRSA.
yeah.
Okay, I would make a motion that we accept CRSA as the one to award the RFP to for the county administration building.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Cody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Okay, looks like Scott Lyons is up and he's here, so he'll be explaining the CZ Ranch subdivision, I guess.
Yep, we just have one subdivision today, CZ Ranch subdivision. It is located at 5715 West, 16800 North, in the area just west of Building. It is a one lot subdivision, half acre in size, which meets the minimum zoning requirements in that area. It has been reviewed by all applicable county departments and comes with the recommendation of approval.
You guys have any questions?
I don't. I'd make a motion to approve the CZ Ranch subdivision.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, a second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. You need me to sign that really quick? Hold on one second and I'll sign this. Sit there with some stuff. Okay. Thanks for being patient. Okay, Mitch, you ready for this marathon?
Sure.
Got quite a few items on here, so we'll go ahead and get started with the extend the enterprise zone.
Yeah, so the enterprise zone, as you know, commissioners, is a zone that's a state designated zone. We create a resolution. The resolution asks the state to, at that point, extend the enterprise zone. In our case, we're asking for the whole all the unincorporated areas of Box Elder County. With Senate Bill 95, this last legislative session in the spring, I should say, Senate Bill 95 is going to close out the enterprise zone. So this is one last opportunity to get 5 more years of the enterprise zone for our businesses in the county. And you should have received a resolution update last night after Attorney Hadfield and I have had a chance to review it and look at it. I hope it should say resolution 20-21 at the top of yours. And anyway, that's what I'm asking to adopt at this point, this resolution 20-21. I don't know if you have any questions.
I just saw that there was, I guess, a couple things that Steve said needed to be changed, and I assume that those were made, so we're good.
Right.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions?
No.
No, I'm good.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion.
I would make a motion that we adopt resolution 20-21 to extend the enterprise zones for all areas of unincorporated Box Elder County.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, so the next number of items are the interlocal agreements between the cities and towns and Box Elder County to utilize their CARES Act funds that they have left over. I've contacted every city and town in the county. I still have one town that I'm still waiting to hear back from, but out of all of them, we have 2 that are on your list today. We need to scratch. They've contacted me back and for one reason or another are not going to be participating in our business grant program. We did Perry already, but we still have Bear River City, Howell, and Deweyville today. Those are on the list. We need to scratch Elwood Town and Manaway. So what this does, the interlocal agreement, the resolution adopts the interlocal agreement, and then the interlocal agreement, of course, is between the cities and towns to utilize any leftover CARES Act funds that they have. So I don't know if you have any questions. We've done this before with Perry, and the interlocals are the same, just different names.
So we're just going to need to pass these just individually with the numbers.
Correct.
Okay.
They're gonna have to push the screen up a little bit more and quicker if we go through these, but I'd make a motion that we adopt resolution 20-17, Bear River City with BC for COVID relief funds.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Then it looks like the next item is, now that we've done the resolution, we need to adopt the interlocal agreement or sign that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd make a motion that we approve interlocal agreement 20-52 between Box Elder County and Bear River City.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Resolution
Do you just
20.
want me to, do you just want me
Yes.
to do the, I've got the whole,
Yes, please.
agenda here on PDF.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll just keep scrolling.
Tell me when to second.
Oh, we'll tell you what to do. I'd make a motion that we adopt resolution 20-18 between Deweyville and Box Elder County for CARES Act funds.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'd make a motion that we assign interlocal agreement 20-53 between Box Elder County and Deweyville.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, and then we're skipping the next two. Is that correct, Mitch? And we're moving down to Howell?
Let's see, we're skipping Elwood. Yeah, moving down to Howell. Yep.
All right, I'd make a motion that we approve resolution 20-22 interlocal agreement between Howell and Box Elder County for CARES Act funds.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. And I'd make a motion that we sign the interlocal agreement 20-56 between Box Elder County and Howell.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How's that,
Okay.
Mitch?
Great. Does that work? Okay.
Okay.
Before we move on to this, do we want to move into our RDA and take care of that stuff? You guys good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. And we'll move into our RDA meeting right now. Get that pulled up there. It looks like we got it pulled up. Okay. It looks like we have some minutes to approve. Is that correct? Looks like the minutes from August 19th, 2020. Do you guys
I'll
have
make a
chance?
motion. Yeah. I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes from August 19th, 2020 in the RDA.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Looks like we got the contract RDA 2019. Mitch?
Yeah, so with Senate Bill 95 that we talked about earlier, that did away with our BEAR program that we've had in the county. The idea, the proposal that's before you is to use the Box Elder Chamber, and Monica Holdaway is on our call today, to do our BEAR program, and we have an amount of $15,000 in that contract per year. That's what we're proposing before you today, and she or the Box Elder Chamber would be our go-to, our connection between the businesses and the county. Monica, if you have any other thoughts or things you want to bring up.
Just that these are services that we've been doing, and we think that we are the logical fit for the county to reach out to the business community. So, and if they have any questions for me.
No, I think it's a great idea, Monica.
Thanks.
And the amount again was
15 grand.
15,000. So.
Which is roughly about the same amount that we were getting from the state to do the BEAR program. It was running through USU in the past, but not through the county, but this one would be through the RDA.
okay.
If there's no other questions, well, I'd entertain a motion.
Was there a contract in this agenda? I didn't see anything.
It should have been sent to you. Let's see, maybe this was one I sent to you last night after Attorney
Okay.
Hatfield and I had taken a
I
chance
think
to look at it.
It was, Jeff.
Gotcha. Okay.
I make a motion to approve the contract 20-19 between the Box Elder Chamber of Commerce and the Bear River Redevelopment Agency for the BEAR program in the tune of $15,000 a year.
I just found it. Okay. Yeah, I will second that.
Yeah, motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. It's like 2020.
Can we just clarify that last motion to say the Box Elder Redevelopment Agency and not the Bear River Redevelopment Agency?
Yeah.
Oh.
Stan was reading ahead. Bear program, so.
Yeah. That's
Between
fine.
Box Elder Chamber of Commerce and Box Elder Redevelopment Agency.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Let's see. This next agreement is actually between Nucor Steel Utah and our redevelopment agency itself, RDA 20-20. This completes the project area that we started earlier. This is the participation agreement between the two. It clarifies who's getting what, and it's been through all the our attorney review. Attorney Hadfield's taken a look at it. I don't know, Steve, if you have any questions or thoughts, but this just completes the project area itself and clarifies that Nucor is getting 90% of the tax increment from Box Elder County, not any of the other taxing entities for, shoot, now I think it was, I can't remember the years. I think it's 11 years. It might be 15 years, but I don't have that right in front of me. I can get it, but.
It's in the agreement. I think Jeff Scott's looking at it right now. How many years is it, Jeff? Commissioner Scott? Can you see on that agreement?
No, I'm trying to find it.
I thought it was 11, but I could be wrong because that was a weird number popped out in my head. I was wondering how come we went 11, but I could be wrong. And if it doesn't matter, honestly, I mean, I'd make a motion to participation agreement, RDA 2020 between Box Elder Redevelopment Agency and Nucor Steel, Utah for Project Thanksgiving.
It is 11 years, by the way.
Yep, they're in section 7, 11 years.
Okay. All right.
The only concern that I had was where it talked about the there wasn't a maximum. Normally we see that, and it just says that it would be done by via interlocal agreements. I mean, that's the only potential concern that I had. I typically like to see a max in there so that if it does take off, it just finishes early.
It does. It's on section 2.4 under the tax increment financing section. Probably the one, let's see, 1, 2, different pages, 3, 4. It's in the 5th paragraph of that section.
Oh, okay.
Second to last. It's a maximum payment amount of $1 million.
Okay. Where's that at in 2.4?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the last paragraph, I think, on page 6.
Okay. All right, very good. Yeah, it was just up there under that where it said that other than us. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and second that motion by Commissioner Summers.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor? Aye. Okay.
These next two, the real estate license agreement, RDA 20-21, the 4th amendment, and the 5th amendment to the real estate purchase contract are between the redevelopment agency and Standard Wellness Utah. I don't know if Scott Erickson is on or not. He might be there to answer questions.
I seen him on a minute ago.
I just want to make sure he's.
Scott, are
if you
you
have
on?
questions, he's there to answer, but.
I am on.
There you go.
Great.
Okay. Thank you. What this does is it extends out one. I don't know, Scott, if you want to explain it.
No, go ahead, Mitch.
Okay, it extends out the agreement. The license agreement is them being able to utilize the property while they're under contract. The real estate purchase contract, of course, is them purchasing the property. It extends out that to March. It sounds like they're possibly going to close earlier than that, which is great. We do have a couple of changes from what you've seen after talking to Attorney Hadfield. There's a couple of things that we need to have changed. So if you're going to make a motion, I would recommend that you motion to have Attorney Hadfield's agreement on it. But for the most part, it's just changing. Again, I don't have it right in front of me. I should.
Okay.
It's changing section 4 a little bit that says buyer shall have the right to terminate this contract at any time upon written notice to seller. We don't need or nor want that in there. We do want to be able to terminate the contract when the I'm under the license agreement. Sorry, I'm not. It's in the license agreement. Number 5 says notwithstanding anything set forth, buyer shall have the right to terminate this license. We don't want that to be able to happen at their disclosure or their just their ability to do that. So the idea is that we're going to say something along the lines of, if I can find it. Buyer shall not have the right to terminate this agreement unless agreed upon by both parties or upon closing of the real estate contract dated June 19, 2019, between the parties, whichever comes first. Something along those lines will replace the number 5. And then the only other thing we have in there is under number 4 on that license agreement is to not put the license payments credited toward the purchase price at closing, unless you want that to happen. But the idea was that this for them to be able to use the property while it's under contract, that's what the license agreement was for. So,
Steve, do you want us to make a motion pending do you look at this, or is that what's on there already?
No, that stuff needs to be taken out, so we need to see the final draft. So probably, I mean, I think it's going to be a very simple process, but it probably ought to be made pending the approval.
Okay.
And Scott Erickson, I mean, yeah, you guys good with that then?
Scott's telling me that his computer froze up and he's trying to log in by his phone. He just texted
Okay.
me that.
I assume that they're okay with it. I mean, you've been talking with them, so.
Yeah, they sent it off to their attorneys. They're taking a look at it. I would assume it will be something along those lines they'll agree to. So.
Okay. Yeah, then I'd entertain a motion.
And this is extending it until March of 2021.
It is, and it sounds like they're gonna close it probably before the end of the year, but
See, and that would be my preference because that's the only thing from what I understand that's holding us up from closing out the ag RDA.
and the business park, yeah.
Yeah, and the business park. And so if we could get that closed before the end of the year, that would be one less thing that we're doing the report and the accounting on. And so it'd just be nice to get that off the books.
Agreed.
Do you want to put that in a motion?
I don't know. I don't know that we can if we're extending it to March of 2021. Yeah.
A motion of
Let's see.
encouragement.
Gentle persuasion. Yeah, I'd make a motion that we approve real estate license agreement RDA 20-21, the Fourth Amendment, with the pending changes as approved by our county attorney.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then real estate purchase contract, Mitch.
Yeah, it's kind of the same deal. It was under section 4. It talks about the buyer having the right to terminate the contract upon written notice to seller. We need to get that out. So again, that's the only change in the real estate contract part of it that needs to happen.
So pretty much the same type of motion then, pending Steve's approval.
That would be my recommendation.
Okay.
I'll make a motion. We approve the real estate purchase contract RDA 20-22, Fifth Amendment between the RDA, Box Elder County, and Standard Wellness, pending County Attorney Steve Hadfield's approval.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn our RDA.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll go back into our commission meeting. And let's see. Get where we're at here. Looks like we're talking about the numbers at fair. Stanley.
Yeah, we just got a thing by the auction that they closed out just over $1 million in the auction for the kids, which I think was amazing. Says a lot about our community and a lot about our, I guess, commitment to our kids. So during the COVID, and we were down, I think they said just over 100 animals, but still the donations were over $1 million. So I just want to put a shout out there to the livestock community and everything that happened during those times, because everybody was getting beat up pretty hard, you know, for what we were doing and how we were doing it. But, you know, we had no outbreaks during the fair or during the auction. So I just can only imagine what would have happened if we'd have done that and we'd have had these kind of outbreaks now. So I actually just got a text from the local IHC and said they had 250 people admitted into IHC hospitals yesterday alone. So Marla, have we got any other things on the fair or everything together? You're shaking your head no. So we still don't have any
I'll have to
closing
see
numbers.
get that from Tom. Maybe we can put it on for, we should be pretty close to everything being paid now. So we've got to be pretty close.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I just wanted to go over the auction numbers because I thought that was pretty impressive to think that we did that in this weird COVID year. So that's all I got.
All right, thanks, Stanley. Looks like next on our agenda here, do we have, I see Catherine's on from UAC. Is Zeke on?
Zeke won't be able to join us.
Okay, Catherine. So you're here with the review and the list of businesses to receive the second round for this small business economic recovery grant.
Yes. So Zeke just sent out about 10 minutes ago an email with the spreadsheet. And this includes the business name. If the business name is starred, if there's an asterisk next to it, that means that they are a startup business. We did allow startup businesses to apply in this round. And by our definition, startup businesses were just anything that K-A-T-H-E-R-I-N-E. Thanks, Marla. Startup business was anything that had started after April 1st of 2019, just because we've been using those numbers from 2019 to compare to 2020. So this spreadsheet includes the amount that businesses received in the round 1 grants. This is for round 2 grants. And then column D shows the amount that we recommend these businesses to be funded at.
Okay. Did you guys get a chance to pull that up?
He just barely sent it out while we were having a meeting. I'm just looking at it while we were talking, so.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up too. Just to make mention too, in talking with Tom, I know that initially we were concerned because there was a lot more applications this second round that, you know, with what money we'd allocated for this, that we were going to run out. And in talking with Tom Cotter, it looks like we have room to accommodate the additional requests that have come in.
And does that include the monies we just got today that we talked about from the other cities? Do we know? Okay, so if we're good.
I don't think it does. So I think we're pretty safe there because I don't think he'd accounted for those monies yet.
Okay.
So
I don't have a problem with any of that stuff. Thanks to UAC for going through that and identifying everything. There's just no way we can do it in that kind of a manner as quick as you guys did. We appreciate Catherine, you and Zeke doing that for us.
Absolutely.
Well, and I believe that this is going to help a number of businesses that took a pretty significant hit. This will help them a little bit more than it did the first round, which there are some businesses that have been around our community for quite a while that have really suffered. And so this will at least give them a little bit more help. So thanks for your work.
Absolutely. Monica also wanted me to mention that she reached out to the Farm Bureau's board and Josh Dallin with USU Extension and Clint Munns to make sure that more agricultural people knew about the grants to give them a chance to apply. So we are hoping that we got a few more of those covered in this round.
That's good.
Okay, great. That's good. So unless you guys have any other questions, I'd entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we approve the list of businesses on the second round of the economic recovery grant.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Hey,
Thank you,
Catherine.
Catherine.
Thank you so much.
Could you email that to me as well, Catherine?
Absolutely. Yep, will do.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Tell Zeke thanks too.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Okay. Looks like we, in talking with Sean, he sent out an email to us. And it's a good thing we had this on the agenda, but due to the COVID hit that our county courthouse has taken, their office has been closed. And so because of the closure, it's been proposed by Sean that we try and extend the deadline for penalties to 2 more weeks into December for the tax deadline, property tax deadline. You guys have any questions or any comments about that?
No,
Oh.
I think that was a good idea that we had to be able to put this on there because of the things that are going on at the courthouse. So yeah, I just make a motion that we approve that property tax deadline by at least 2 weeks.
I would suggest you have a date because it's going to come down to it. What date? So rather than just 2 weeks, we got to set a date.
So 2 weeks from,
What's our, let's see, the deadline's the 30th, right?
December
So
15th.
that's a Monday, so it'd be December 14th.
okay,
So is that your
December
motion?
14th. That's my motion till December 14th.
Okay.
Okay. I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Summers, second by Commissioner Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And Jenica said we don't have the warrant register or,
PAs at least.
okay.
Marla's got the warrant register. It was sent out.
And okay. We don't have anything for a closed session. Is that correct?
I don't have any.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Then it looks like our work is done. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you,
Marla,
guys.
Marla, if you want to use my signature on that other stuff, go ahead.
You might not want how I sign your name.
Well, everybody, never mind. I won't go there. Yes.